Hello, so what we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to go ahead and write a program that reads and plots the monthly high and low prices for Bitcoin in 2021 found in the high-low bitcoin.csv file. But before we can go ahead and write that program, we need to go ahead and create the high-low bitcoin.csv file. So that's what we're going to be doing in this first video is we're going to go ahead and create that file. And then in the second video, we're going to go ahead and create the plot. So let's go ahead and get started with creating that high-low bitcoin.csv file. So the information that we're going to be using is we're going to be using the program that we wrote when we actually read information from the Bitcoin 2021 CSV file. And after we read that information from the file, we determined the highest and lowest closing price for each month of the year in 2021. So this is the initial file where we read the data from. Now we're going to go to the actual program that we wrote. So this is the program that we actually wrote. So what we did is we went through and we basically processed our rows. We changed the date from either a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 into the actual month, January, February, so on and so forth. And then we iterated through that data that we created on line 20. And what we did is we determined the highest price for the month and the lowest close or last price for each one of the months. And we saved those to a couple of dictionaries, the high prices dictionary and the low prices dictionary. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use the information found in those high prices and low prices dictionary to go ahead and create a CSV file. So let me just go ahead and comment out the rest of the program here. So what I've done is I've actually defined a function that'll go ahead and do that. So what this function does is it creates a CSV file containing the high and lows. It will be used in the Chapter 17 example program to plot the highs and lows. So when we call the function, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be passing in the high prices and the low prices dictionaries that we've created up above that show for each month the high price and the low price. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an empty list to hold each month's high and low price. And then we're going to create a list for the months, the highs and the lows. So we're going to create a months list. And what that'll do is that'll just include all of the months from our high prices dictionary. And that'll be the same months will be both in our high prices dictionary and our low prices dictionary. And then we're going to create another list. And what that list will include is just the high values from our high prices dictionary. So that will include our highs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to read our low prices from our low prices dictionary. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull the value out. So what we're going to have is we're going to have a list of the months, a list of the highs, and a list of the lows. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to append dictionaries to our price list. So our empty price list that we created above. So the first dictionary is going to be the month. So what we're going to do is we're going to just iterate through each one of our lists that we've created up above from 0 through 11, each one of the items in the list at indexes 0 through 11. And we're just going to go ahead and append those items. So the first one will be our day of the month, or our month, name of the month. And then the next item will be our high for the month, and the next item will be our low for the month. And then what we're going to do is we're going to establish a path to where we want to write our high-low bitcoin.csv file to. The next thing we need to do is we need to open the file in write mode. So that's what we're doing right here. We're opening our file in write mode using UTF-8. And our new line is going to be a blank character. And then we're going to create a dict writer object. And what this will do is it'll create the object with our field names of month, high, and low. And we'll go ahead and create that. So now we have that object, and then we're going to call a couple of the methods on that writer object. The first one is we're going to call the write header function, and what that'll do is that'll write headers to our CSV file. It'll write a month, high and low headers. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to write the data in the prices list to the file. So we're going to go ahead, we've created that prices list up above where we had the month, high and low. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and write those rows to the actual file. We're going to go ahead and write first the month value, then the high value, and then the low value. And then we'll go ahead, we need to make sure and close the program so that all the information that's being written to the, close the file so all the information being written to the file gets written to the file. It's not setting in our short-term memory someplace. It actually gets written to the file. And then what we're doing on line 86 is we're just going ahead and actually calling our function, passing in our high prices and our low prices. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and add an extra print statement. And what that'll do is that'll just show you what each row in our prices list looks like. So we'll just print out each one of those rows, so you know exactly the data that's going to be printed out when we go ahead and call our write row on our prices list. So let's go ahead and run the program. So we'll run it, click on OK. Let me go ahead and cancel. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and comment out. Nah, I won't. I want to go ahead and show both the output that gets generated and then the file that gets generated. So let's go ahead and run it. So it's quite a bit of information that gets printed out here. So what we have here is we have January's price. So this is when we printed out the information from the previous program. And then now what we're doing is that's what I ended up doing. So what we're doing here is we're printing each row multiple times. So that doesn't do a very good job here. So I do not want to print prices. I want to go ahead and print the information that is getting appended to prices, because each time through I'm just printing, first time through it'll print prices when there's only one row in, then 2 rows in, then 3 rows in, then 4 rows in. So that's why we had so much information getting printed out. So let me just go ahead and run this one more time. Yeah, so what happens here is the month of January is in our index 0 of our prices list, and that corresponds to our high price and our low price for January. And then the final one is December, that corresponds to our high price and our low price for December. So the one thing that we haven't checked yet is we haven't checked to see if our CSV file has been created. So let's go ahead and go into my home directory. It looks like it's been created. So let me just go ahead. I'll open it up in Notepad. And there it is. So we have our header row, month high and low, and then we have our highs and lows from January through December. So what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to use the information from this file to go ahead and plot the highs and lows for each month on a graph. So that's all I had for this video. So we will talk to you later.